Prince Harry trying to blow up his own charity, to hell with those children in Africa, right? And Meghan Markle trying to blow up the royal family once again. The problem is, this time, no one believes her. Lady Colin Campbell, where to begin? Where to begin? I actually want to start by reading you, this extraordinary comment from Meghan Markle to the New York Post about Valentine Lowe and the bullying allegations, but also, come on, the allegations which have now been made by us for well over 5 years. Have we ever seen any type of legal note by Vanity Fair, by The Hollywood Reporter? But this is what Meghan Markle had to say. She said that Lowe is blasting harmful gossip and continues to desperately recycle false, offensive and long discredited allegations in an apparent bid to sell books and resuscitate relevance. These claims, rooted in anonymous, unverifiable sources, from part of a broad and deeply troubling agenda that seeks to dehumanize a woman who has consistently stood up for fairness, dignity and truth. The Duchess has faced years of unfounded attacks masked as journalism and a never-ending smear campaign beginning only once she was affiliated with the institution. Meghan remains undeterred by the noise and firmly focused on her family and work. Lady C, what on earth possessed her to release this statement to the New York Post?
Well, she's obviously trying to retrieve the little bit of reputation that she has done, and she's not been very successful. I mean, my sons are friendly with a Canadian, very well-placed Canadian, who actually mixed in the same circles as Meghan. And she says that Meghan was very unpopular in Canada. This was before she met Harry. And that she was known to be a piece of work, and that she was absolutely loathed on the set of Suits, and that she wasn't very popular otherwise either. So, and Meghan used to evidently play the, oh, I'm a star, I'm so much better than you. And she used to play mean girl games with the employees on Suits, because she'd have her cabal of supporters, her makeup people, her, her stylists, and she with them, and then very arrogant and disdainful with the rest of the crew. So none of this is really new. It's, to me, what's amazing is that nobody has bothered to check so far into what she was like before she entered the royal family and how dreadful she was even then.
Oh, you're completely right. I mean, I'm friendly with one of the directors of the movies. Remember, she filmed these quite low-rent movies in between Suits seasons. And he said to me, Lady C, that she was the worst actress he had ever worked with by far. She was absolutely horrible to everyone who she worked with. And by the way, the word bully was used. So you're completely right. This bullying behavior is with her long before she entered the royal family. I guess what I'm so interested in, though, is why now? Why target Valentine Lowe 2 years on? Or no, 4 years on. I think 4 years and 5 months on from the release of his first report in terms of the bullying allegations. And is this part of a new strategy to fight back against the people who she believes has an agenda against her?
No, I think she's a total opportunist. I think she wants to remain in the news. This is a way of keeping herself in the news. I'm not sure that it's anything so much more than that, quite frankly, Dan. I honestly don't think that, she's decided, well, I need to improve my image right now. She's known for some time she needs to improve her image. And I mean, Ted Sarandon has evidently told her that she needs to improve her image, and that she needed to make herself more user-friendly and, less sort of elevated and more relatable. And I think that's all a part of it. But I think it's a bit late in the game now. But also, she is, in an ironic sort of way, she is competing with Harry. because Harry has been accused of being a bully, and because Harry has been accused of racism, she is actually jumping on the bandwagon to say, look, it's not only him, it's me. I also need to have the spotlight on me. So I think if you realize that that's what's also going on, it begins to be more intelligent, because otherwise the whole thing is absolute insanity. Because why now is the question that everybody should be asking. And the answer has to be that it suits her right now to do it. And of course, she's hoping that she will be able to convince some people of her constantly losing circle of admirers. Because remember, she keeps on losing supporters left, right, and centre. What do you think?
Well, I think we really noticed that on her birthday, and it was telling that she decided to release this statement too on her birthday. Very bizarre decision, especially from a PR point of view, by the way, when she's also got the relaunch of Was Never, as you call it, Lady C, which failed to sell out because people are no longer buying into this scarcity strategy.
Yes, but there's also a subtext to all of this that's going on, which I don't think anybody has connected up yet, but I have connected it up. And I'm sure you have connected it, even though you might not have touched upon it yet, which is that Valentine Lowe is perceived in royal correspondence circles as being impeccably connected with the palace. And let us remember that what's his name? Ian Rawlinson, who is the chairman, I think, at the moment of Centre Barley, who is associated with the Tusk Trust, Prince William's contribution to charity. So the people have missed the point, which is that Sophie Chanduka and Ian Rawlinson have not been criticized for actually anything specific, and they are in situ at the moment. And who has been displaced is Harry. And so there is, I think Meghan and Harry are fighting against the palace and the palace approval of the fact, because William, remember, has a huge problem with Meghan and Harry in that his wife was accused by her of racism amid scabies. And so I think if you begin to see what's going on behind the scenes, that this report that has just come out from the Charity Commission, which ostensibly even-handedly criticizes both sides, but it rarely criticizes both sides for having gone public. But Harry is the one who went public first. Sophie Chanduka simply responded to Harry going public. That's the first thing. And they're aware that people will ultimately cotton on to that. And also, the Charity Commission has made it clear that although there is no evidence of racism, misogyny, etc., it is not their remit to actually examine any of those charges, and therefore they haven't examined them. So Harry is not exonerated. And in the background is the fact that Ian Rawlinson is Prince William's man, and he was appointed to Centre Barley the day that Harry stood down. So I think if you begin to look at it in that light, what's really going on behind the scenes, and what Harry and Meghan are aware of the fact that they now need to address. So that's why I think also she has come out punching in this regard, because also Valentine Lowe is regarded as a palace man. And remember, when he made the allegations of the bullying which came out just before the Oprah interview, Meghan said that it was a palace snare to muzzle her.
What if the last hope of peace between Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, and the royal family has finally disappeared? For years, royal watchers have held on to the possibility that time would heal old wounds. Despite explosive interviews, Harry's memoir, and years of public disagreements, many believed reconciliation was still possible. But now, fresh reports suggest those hopes may be fading. According to royal commentators, recent remarks and renewed criticism linked to Harry and Meghan have reportedly sparked frustration within palace circles, leading some observers to believe that relations have reached another breaking point. So, has the peace deal really collapsed? Let's take a closer look. Ever since stepping back from royal duties in 2020, Harry and Meghan have remained at the center of controversy. Their interview with Oprah, the Netflix documentary, Harry's memoir Spare. Each project offered their perspective on life inside the monarchy, but each also intensified public debate. Supporters praised the couple for speaking openly. Critics argued the repeated public disclosures damaged trust within the family. Now, commentators claim the latest developments have reopened those old wounds once again. Although the palace rarely responds publicly to these stories, many royal analysts believe every new controversy makes reconciliation even more difficult. For King Charles, the situation is especially complex. He is not only a father but also the monarch. Balancing family relationships with the stability of the crown has become one of his greatest challenges. Prince William faces similar pressures. As heir to the throne, he is widely seen as focused on protecting the future of the monarchy. Many commentators believe rebuilding trust after years of public criticism will not be easy. That has fueled speculation that any behind-the-scenes efforts to improve relations may now be stalled.
But look, Lady C, I think when we connect these two stories, though, at the very least, what we can say is that the peace deal is over.
When you speak about the peace deal, I mean, it was like Munich 1938. And, you know, it's meaningless.
Yeah, totally.
And I
because it was
I
one-sided.
Sorry?
It was one-sided. They weren't prepared to concede a thing.
But also, I'm sure you realize that the palace never for a second thought that they could be relied upon. I mean, you know, that would be like expecting the viper to not bite you once you pushed your hand.
Well, indeed. Or to use your analogy, Lady C, to trust Hitler not to invade any further countries. I mean, it was never going to happen. But I still think that Buckingham Palace were naive to be drawn into the PR spectacle of it. It's really, really quite worrying where his mind is at.
Smoke too much ganja, it affects your mind.
Harry's lost it. He's lost it.
Well, it's untenably ludicrous. I mean, here is one of the premier establishment figures in the world trying to make out that there is an establishment plot against him. And let's remember what the basis of that plot was, that he had married a woman of color who was better at being royal than the royals themselves. So that's where the starting point was. Let's not forget that, especially in terms of Sophie Chandorka's claims of racism emanating from Harry and Meghan. Because Sophie Chandorka, I know what she's saying. Because being Jamaican, I have seen brown women snare at black women because their ancestors didn't, quote unquote, improve their color, which is a very black thing that used to be prevalent. And so Sophie Chandorka knows that there is a snobbish element to this. And so there's all of that going on behind this. But ultimately, Harry is in the untenable position of trying to argue that he, who is a premier establishment figure, is being traduced by the establishment unfairly. Now, I actually do think that Sophie Chandorka has played the race card very pragmatically. And I really think that putting in the light of everything that has happened, all of it would have happened irrespective of her color. But as I said a bit earlier, I'm sure that she's picked up the fact that Meghan has disdain for her because Meghan's brown and she's black. And let's remember, Meghan also spent most of her life passing for white, and Meghan has eradicated all signs of her sub-Saharan heritage, got her nose pinched in, straightens her hair, etc., etc. And when she browns up the face, she makes sure that she doesn't brown up the neck or the shoulders or the hands, and then she makes sure she puts the hands on the neck. And always your hands are darker than your face, except with Meghan, where the face is infinitely darker. So she's still giving the message that she's really much whiter than people think she is. And let's also not forget that one of Meghan's big complaints against the British press was that nobody thought I was black until they said it. And I'm not black. I'm not black. Look at me. I'm nearly white. I'm actually mixed race. I mean, she made such a big deal about the press saying that she was black in Britain, when in fact what they were trying to do was actually be inclusive, and they were trying to welcome her as a woman of color. So that I think the whole thing is an absolute mess, but I think it's a mess that if ever anybody deserved to be dropped in it, it's Harry and Meghan. And I'm delighted that it has happened. And it could only have happened with a strong, well-educated, confident black woman. And Harry, may I point out, should be looking at Sophie Chandorka and thinking to himself, why did I marry that uppity brown girl when I could have married a fabulous black woman who would actually have been a credit to?
Yes.
I think he should be doing that.
What might have been, what might have been. And I mean, it's been a disastrous week for them, Lady C, on so many fronts. But I do just want to find out from you what's really going on with Was Never, because, of course, Meghan decided to use her birthday. I mean, do you remember last time she used Princess Diana's birthday? This time she launched her birthday, was expecting another sellout because she posted this video.
Here we go.
But of course, Lady C, this whole scarcity strategy and, oh, we made so much for you, it was only going to work for so long.
Well, Dan, the reality is she's caught between the devil and the deep blue sea, because if we have all cottoned on to the fact and vociferously made the public aware of the marketing technique of you do so few items of a product that it has to sell out. So if she had not increased the numbers, she would have been accused of, oh, here she goes again, cynically doing this marketing strategy. So she, sorry. So she had to increase the numbers to avoid that. But by increasing the numbers, and I'm pretty sure it's only marginal, she finds herself not sold out and in no danger of being sold out because there's no interest in the product. And there's not going to be interest in the product because people like Meghan or Gwyneth Paltrow or Martha Stewart, they are selling the idea of a dream. And you cannot sell the idea of a dream when you are a nightmare. And Meghan has shown herself to be a nightmare. And I think my understanding is she's pretty desperate at the moment because nothing that she's done is working. And of course, let's not forget, the Netflix negotiations are still going on. And she has a limited support from Ted Sarandos, but she doesn't have support across the board, literally the board of directors. And if they do not renew on some niggardly basis, because it's going to be a niggardly basis, it's going to be mortifying for her, and it's going to actually shine a light on her total failure. So she is now, it's really stuck between a rock and a hard place. And no matter what she does, if she has increased the volume of the product, which she obviously has, and it doesn't sell out, that's condemning her. And if she had sold out too quickly, that would have condemned her. So do you see, Meghan has, and I've been saying it for years, Meghan is so manipulative that she keeps on outmaneuvering herself because she's just not straight. She just doesn't come from a firm basis, and she's not straight. She's convoluted, and ultimately it doesn't work. And ultimately that's why people have actually lost respect for her. And let's remember, that's what to a large extent all of this is about, because the public have lost respect for her. And they no longer trust her, they no longer like her. And she's like Sisyphus. She's trying to push the ball of popularity up the mountainside. And I'm afraid she's never going to reach the top of the mountain.
But it's important to separate confirmed facts from speculation. No official palace statement has declared that a peace deal is over. Much of this narrative comes from royal commentators, unnamed sources, and interpretations of recent events. Still, the story has captured worldwide attention because it reflects a larger question. Can the royal family and the Sussexes ever truly move forward? Some believe the answer is yes. Families have overcome deep disagreements before. Others argue that too much has happened. Too many private matters have become public. Too much trust has been lost. Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan continue to build their lives outside the monarchy. They remain active through charitable work, media projects, and business ventures. Their supporters see them as independent voices forging a new path. Their critics believe they continue to profit from their royal connections while criticizing the institution. That divide ensures every headline becomes another battleground. Perhaps that's why stories like this resonate so strongly. They aren't just about royalty. They're about family, forgiveness, loyalty, and whether broken relationships can truly be repaired. For now, the answers remain uncertain. The palace has not confirmed the dramatic claims made in recent headlines. Harry and Meghan have not publicly responded to many of the latest reports. And until either side speaks directly, much of the conversation will remain speculation. One thing, however, is undeniable. The relationship between the Sussexes and the royal family continues to fascinate millions around the world. Every interview, every appearance, every new report, each one adds another chapter to a story that seems far from over. What do you think? Has the chance for reconciliation finally disappeared, or is there still hope that time can heal this royal divide? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more royal news and analysis.